Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I'm here with a scrap haul from Scrappweb in Halmstad, Sweden. I saw a girl posting a photo of her using the beautiful edge die from Marianne Design, and I just fell in love with the idea. I mean, she had used some beautiful papers from Marianne Design, and they were really soft and pastel-y, and I just fell in love with this sort of edge die. As you can see, it doesn't cut off this, which means that you can have this on the top, on the side, at the bottom. You could even die cut it 3 or 4 times just to make a square of your own, but in that case, of course, you need to figure out how much space and which measurements to go for. But I haven't gone there yet. But what I have done with this is that I have used the die, put it on the paper, die cut it through the big shot, and I just rolled it through 2 or 3 times, and then I took away the magnetic plate which I used, and I went for a base plate, folding away the tabs, and then I just used 2 rubber mats in order to get the embossed effect. Now you can see the debossed effect there, but in this case you can see the debossed effect, or actually you can feel it. And while the die was still in its place, I just took some distress ink with a ink blending tool and I just dabbed it over there. One thing you might want to think about is that if you don't want any residue of color here, you might actually benefit from what I did with this one. I'll be showing you this die in just a second, because in this case I just die cut it the same way, and I dry embossed it and I colored it in. But before I started coloring it in, I put a piece of paper just underneath the die so I wouldn't get that color to seep through to the inner page like that. In this case it's much easier because it's a straight line there, as you can see, like that. So it's easy for me to dab the color on, but it might be a little bit more tricky with a die like this. But I'm thinking that perhaps you might be able to just lift that down a piece, sort of a little, so you can put it there and start coloring in. But then again, you need to take the paper away when you are coming to this part, because you do want some color here and there. But this is a beautiful die, isn't it? So let's see what it's called. It's called LR0311. LR0311, and I'll be posting the proper name in the description box below the video, so you might have an easier way to search for this. So just talking about the dies from Marianne Design, mostly I'm really happy with them. You have to fiddle perhaps a little bit with the residue bits of pieces of paper in the die, but that's easily done with a sort of a poker or a needle or something like that. So let's move on. Let's take the die that I showed you just before. It's a set of 2. This one will be a decorative piece that you can glue on to something. And this one is called LR0270. LR0270. And here you can see what they have as a sort of a guide or an inspiration. There are other dies that you might go crazy for, I must say. So there are some more examples of what you might be on the lookout for from Marianne Design. I believe it's a Dutch company, and I'm sure you can find more beautiful things on their webpage. So that's that, and that's that. And then I'm sort of in the mood of getting lots of these dies with a sort of a notebook, torn notebook page. I fell in love with this one, but when I saw the picture in the back, I would really like to get hold of that one, but since the stamps are in Dutch, I believe, I'm not sure how many Swedish companies will take that one in, but I really would like to have that one as well. And the good thing about this one is, of course, that the sayings are in English, so you can stamp these, you can die cut them, put them on those tabs. And this one is called COL1315, COL1315, and that one stands for collectibles, Marianne Design collectibles. So I'm sort of starting to realize what those codes are for. These are called Creatables, these dies, but I can't really see LR. I can't really see why it's called LR, but it's called LR anyway. But I do like the fonts. They are small and nice. Even though I'm not sure how many times I'll be using them, I still do like the outlook of them. I got myself another die from Joy Crafts, and this one is for both cutting and embossing, so I could actually use the same technique as I did with the Marianne Design dies. And here you can see some other ones. This is the one I've got, but this might be a nice companion to go with it if I can find it somewhere else. So this one is called 6002-1046, 6002-10146, and it's Joy Crafts, also a Dutch company. You have the address there, and the result you might want to see as well. So this is what I came up with. I still haven't poked out those small bits and pieces, as you can see, but it's going to give you a beautiful net and a beautiful center and everything. And in this case, while you have the die on the paper, you are just coloring in the bits that are visible through the net or the holes in the die. So in this case, you should be able to get a really nice and clean centerpiece there without any effort. And it's really nice to have that dry embossed effect, the debossed effect on that side, but the embossed effect on that side. And then we are coming to the final die that I got. This is something from Craft Dies by Sue Wilson. Creative Expressions is the company there. And this one is called CED4303. CED4303. And it's called Creative Expressions Craft Dies by Sue Wilson. 3 different dies. I have just used this one, and this was the first one I tried this day. And while I had the paper still in the die, I colored it in as I did with the other ones, but you can see that it doesn't color in more than just here and there on those small pieces. So I can't really see any use of I just can't see why you should bother coloring that one in. But of course it's nice to have a nice centerpiece in a different color, of course. So it's a nice swirly die that was really easy to cut out, so I must recommend you these dies from Creative Expressions. And then I got mad when I saw these houses. I have seen them before, and I didn't really know how big they were, because I was hoping that they would be this big, but I was afraid that they would be, let's say, half the size. But when I got the package, I was really like, yes! I mean, this is fantastic. Joy Crafts is the company. Clearstamps, Vintage Homes, and let's see, they are called 6410. And then it says 0395. 6410 0395. And I do love these houses. I mean, just look at them, they are beautiful. So I mean, these are perfect for watercoloring escapades, I'm thinking. So that's it from me, a small scrap haul. I hope you have a splendid time and start crafting right now. I can't because I have to go to work, but I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.